Hello.
Hello.
Same two guys again.
Something wrong with my headphones, just a second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Sorry. Guess Steve's meeting notes taker.
That's Steve Pereira. It seems some automation that comes. Okay, let Steve know if you want me to leave. Okay, but Steve is not here. No, I think it's fine. Some bot recorder. Okay, it's a minute past already. Guess we're not in a rush, so we can maybe wait another minute or two and see if someone joins.
Sorry, it was muted. I said, yeah, sure, we can wait.
Yeah, thanks. I'm checking if there's an updates in the VSMI reference architecture document that Steve has presented. I can't see the history of it. They're not allowed to see that. No, version history is grayed out. Okay. So I don't know if that's been updated recently with anything, but I guess you saw my reply to Steve there, that we should maybe have a separate discussion about VSMI collaboration.
Yeah.
Because it might be suitable for him to join this time slot, maybe. Yeah, let's see. I guess we get started now then. I can share this time. Here comes Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good, good. So we waited for some more people to join until we started, but now we are at least 3. And we have a bot note taker here as well, which will probably record everything we say. So we need
Awesome.
to speak clearly. Yeah. Oh, we can sign in. So the bot is from Steve Pereira, the VSMI person. But he just mailed us and said he won't be able to join, so it's only his bot here today. So we might not be talking too much about the VSMI collaboration. Looking at some action items, I have an old action item on me to prepare information for the TOC, updates on the SIG Events project or group and the CDF Events project. I have not done that, unfortunately. Additional to that, I will not be able to join the TOC tomorrow because I'm on a Swedish holiday, national day. So I will be off tomorrow, but maybe for the next occasion I can do it. Then Andrea you said last time you would like to talk to Michael from Argo about a collaboration there. Has anything happened there?
Trying to remember when was it last time,
It
but
was-
yeah. So we
yeah.
So we had a chat, but then remember if this was before last time or after. But anyway, I had a chat with Michael, and he created an RSC or a draft RSC for Argo CD. So let me share the link. I think I shared it in the CD Events.
Yeah, maybe you actually showed that on the vocabulary meeting last week. I remember that. I think I had it there.
So I just put the link in the chat for now, but basically added Argo to our CD Events in Tool project. And if you open that, there's
Yep.
That's the link to the.
Yeah.
So if you look into that, there is a link to the Argo project. Let's see. Yeah. But yeah, I need to follow up on that with him. If we can start maybe creating a POC or something.
So I will check this too. Okay, thanks for that. I guess there's nothing more to say about that then. No. From other groups, I just added this again about the project representatives, which are now the nomination period ends today, and I'm nominated to represent CD Events, and the voting will be a couple of weeks starting from next Monday. Anything else from other groups we should bring to the minutes, you think?
So, on the topic of, well, I'll wait till we get to the next section, collaboration with other communities.
Okay, yeah. Outside CDF, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But within CDF, is there anything else we should mention here that we heard?
I'm trying to get us a call with no, I'll just wait. All of it will fall into the other category.
Well, we can go on to the next one. We go on to the next one. That's fine. So you want to say something here, yeah?
Yeah. So as you all know, I'm kind of poking the OpenSSF right now.
Yeah.
There's two areas. There's actually some really important areas that we should be involved in, and I'm hoping I can recruit. Emil, would be great if you could join, or Andrea, either one of you. So the OpenSSF started a new working group called the Sterling Toolchain. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I really don't. They tried to,
Like
they're
this?
trying to, yeah. Sterling, STER, like
of course.
yeah. It's not going to be permanently named that. Nobody likes that name. They don't really know exactly what it is they want to do, but this came as an idea that Brian Bellendorf is very close to. His idea being that we need a set of tools that we can recommend to people for security. The OpenSSF folks are great. They really are. They have really deep knowledge on cybersecurity and hacks and tooling that needs to be done to prevent that. But I wouldn't say that they're experts in DevOps or CI/CD pipeline. Some of them have some understanding, but not necessarily understanding some of the problems. I pointed out to them at that meeting that if we stood back and said, what are we really trying to solve? We're trying to solve security for not just some open source projects, but for every enterprise. And that means, do we just look at the Jenkins workflows? We have 20 million workflows to update manually to add our Sterling tool chain to their workflows. And I brought up CD Events, and I let them know that they're the ones who should be building CD Events around security.
Yep.
That got a lot of interest. There's also a lot of money in Alpha Omega. And if you know anything about Alpha Omega, Alpha has selected a handful of open source tools that they're going to build out solutions to. And then they want to do the Omega side, which is to bring those solutions to a larger, group of open source communities. They have funds. We should be looking at participating in the Sterling tool chain and the Alpha Omega groups, and we should be trying to get some funds out of that. When I first brought it up to the OpenSSF for us to collaborate, I don't know if I read Brian's email correctly, but I don't know if he was gung-ho about it or just cautious about the OpenSSF and CDF working together. He's now the CTO. They have a new general manager, but I can tell you that when I brought up CD Events and the idea of truly sort of disrupting the CI/CD pipeline with an event-based process that would solve the problem where we could actually build out this Sterling tool chain in an automated way, there were a lot of folks on that call that got excited about it. So I feel like we have a opportunity here to bring CD Events up to the OpenSSF in that Sterling toolchain group. And potentially the Alpha Omega group is where we would be able to get some funds to potentially have some money to do something bigger than what we already can do with the team that we have. So I want you guys to think about how we can work with that group. And if there's any chance I can get one of you on the Sterling toolchain, or I've asked Krobe to introduce me to the Alpha Omega folks, because it's kind of been, even though I was on the board there, it's kind of been a closed community. I have not been able to open the door there, but yeah. we need to bang it down and let them know what we're doing.
Yeah. So of course we shouldn't miss that opportunity, I think, and it's a good opportunity to educate them about CI/CD, of course, and
yes,
how CD Events fits there, and also why it is then relevant for OpenSSF or for secure supply chains.
Yeah, some of them are still in that thinking that you can't ask somebody to change the way they do CI/CD.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I brought up that we are in a place and time that disruption of the CD pipeline is required. There are so many new types of tools out there that nobody can actually adopt because it takes too much time to update all these static workflows, and they didn't realize that was a problem. So yeah. It's and they don't have to realize that's a problem because it's not their space. Their space is knowing that they want everybody to do signing or generate an SBOM, and they don't understand why they're enterprise companies. And one of the members basically said, I don't understand why my developers are still generating SBOMs manually. When we ask for it, they'll generate one. Why don't they just do it? And it was like, well, it's a broader story. That's a broader problem.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's a great opportunity for us, and I'm going to keep looking for spots for us like that. But this one, I think, is probably the most important one.
You know, if these are normally in US time slots, or are they in Europe-friendly time slots, or
Let me look to see when those meetings. The meeting was last week. I think it's in the morning. Most of the stuff. The next one is tomorrow. Here is. I'll put this in the next meeting, June 6th, and it is at 10 Mountain, So it's 9 Pacific,
Hmm.
12 Eastern.
That should probably be fine for us as well. Not too late.
So it's 9 a.m. Pacific time, and there is the Zoom meeting. You can just go and sign up and you'll get invitations. I think maybe I got an invitation. Let me see if that is out there yet as a working group. And Krob, who's part of the CDF, is actually managing this group
So is that for the Sterling toolchain or for the Alpha Omega or both?
for the Sterling toolchain, and he's the chairperson for this for their TAC. So he's their new chairperson, which is great.
Hmm.
I don't see the working group listed yet. While we continue, I'll look to see if I can find where that mailing list is and how I got on it. I probably just got on it because I'm on a broader list. I'm still getting governing board meetings. I don't attend them because I didn't get reelected, but I'm still getting all those meetings invites. Let me see if they have a repo that has it. I don't think they have one yet. But the Zoom meeting is in there and the time.
Yeah.
In the doc.
So Alpha Omega also has a GitHub.
Yeah,
project.
Alpha Omega does. Now, I don't know anybody from the Alpha Omega team. What I'm hoping that we can do is we can get because what the Omega project of Alpha Omega really needs to do is implement some kind of a common process for all the open source teams. But what's going to happen, just like in any enterprise company, not everybody writes the same language. Not everybody has the same tools. So they're going to run into they're going to start learning about some of the challenges around building a DevOps pipeline or a DevSecOps pipeline or their Sterling toolchain, whatever they're calling it. They're going to learn that everything, there is no such thing as one perfect pipeline because it's different based on your platform and your language. So they're going to learn that, and it's the Omega team that will be facing it first, I believe, but it's the Sterling toolchain that I think that we can get them thinking about CD events, then they can go to the Alpha Omega and say, hey, we want to put some money into CD events to get this part of the project done.
Okay. So maybe I got this wrong now. It's not that the TAC who has a meeting tomorrow. It's just for the Sterling toolchain group, or
correct. And the person who's running the Sterling toolchain is Chris Robinson, and he's also running the TAC now.
Okay, so it should be this way. It's under the Sterling toolchain. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now, as I said before, I will be off tomorrow, so I can't join tomorrow since it's a holiday here in Sweden.
Well, enjoy.
Yeah.
They're having them every week, I believe. So you'll be able to start and do it again next week.
Yeah. Do they also have minutes in some assembly or something like that, or maybe in?
I'm looking right now where because they just started, and I don't know. It doesn't really look like they have a whole lot of structure yet.
Well, it seems that working groups has meeting minutes in Google Docs. If I look at the top TAC page.
Oh, they do?
It looks like that, yeah.
Maybe there is can you see if there is a,
So there's no working group yet for.
yeah, I didn't see the working group. So they probably don't have a working group email yet either.
But these all are on Google Docs, the notes here, so.
Okay.
And then it's hard to find it if you don't have the correct link, of course, because it's not on top ACMD organization.
Yeah. I couldn't find it. I was looking.
Yeah. And the
So
project.
if I got it right, it's right after the TOC meeting tomorrow.
That could be. That is what I have on my calendar.
Okay, so I could join tomorrow.
Directly afterwards.
There's
another one called the Security Tooling Working Group. I don't know how they're different from the Sterling toolchain. And they also have a supply chain integrity group now. So they're getting a lot of splintering groups, but I believe the one that will get the most attention internally from Linux Foundation will be the Sterling toolchain, because it's Brian Bellendorf's kind of dream and project. And now he's the CTO, so he'll be pushing it internally.
So where does that money come from for the Alpha Omega? Is that some company who?
IBM, Google, I don't remember who's putting money into Alpha Omega, but I think they recently got another $3 million infusion.
One of the OpenSSF members then, I guess.
They are OpenSSF members, but it's not a project. They don't have projects like we have projects. They're not like an Ortelius project. I can't remember what they call them. They kind of have their own. They're kind of splintered off, and they're doing their own thing basically. And they are supposed to answer to the board, but I don't know if they answer to the TAC. But there may be people on the Alpha Omega project who's on the TAC. Not really sure how they're doing it. They have their own budget. That money doesn't go into the OpenSSF. It just goes into the Alpha Omega project.
Yeah.
And that's how SIG Store is too.
Okay. Well, we should for sure say that we are open for updates in the security area for city events, because we don't have much there yet. We have the some artifacts events right now, but that's more or less what we have. Yeah,
and that's the other thing that just is happening at the CNCF level. They do now have, and I'm attending it because of Emporus. That's the Red Hat project that Ortelius has brought in as a sub-project. And it's an artifact group. It's really looking at how artifacts should be managed. I don't know. I don't think that they're at a point where they're going to be thinking about events, but I will keep you guys posted on that. But definitely Alpha Omega and the OpenSSF, they are at a place where they are now. They should be thinking about them now.
Good.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this up, Tracy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so as Emil said, so I mean, we had been planning of having security features for city events for sure. But yeah, and that's how we started. Also, you started the email thread with OpenSSF because we need to get the kind of the expert involved to design that in a way that is useful. So
yes,
yeah,
and I really do believe that Sterling toolchain, there's a lot of selling to be done still, but I really do believe that the concept around the Sterling toolchain, they really should be thinking of it in terms of vocabulary and events. But they didn't even know that existed. So I think there was immediately a lot of interest immediately. So I feel like if we continue to attend and teach them, that they'll come around to it. I'm convinced they will. And then we can go see if Alpha Omega would be willing to put some money into it.
Cool. Yes. Okay, should we move on then? So next on this list is the tag app delivery. And we said when we met last time that we should reach out to them, see if we should meet them on Wednesday this week. But now I don't see that they have answered on the issue we created at that time.
And that artifact group is a subgroup of the app delivery group.
Okay, yeah. So we asked about this last time, but haven't got any replies from Josh. So I'm not sure if we can do anything else. Did we reach out on Slack as well, or what do you think?
Yeah, I can.
I don't have time to do that meeting, but I will continue to do the artifact one.
Sounds good.
It's more, I think it's actually more relevant. Because they're they're addressing common problems across any type of artifact, and what a standard, we call it an OCI repository, and what those standards are, but that relates to containers. They're trying to do it with any type of artifact.
Right. So, where did they go? This one.
Oh, and then finally, I am working on a white paper with not test cube. Let me see. Where is Ole from? So there's two things that I'm I'm working on, Fati asked me to reach out to create a white paper on CD test events. I don't have the knowledge to create a white paper, so I suggested we start with a blog, and then if we can formulate some of that, maybe we can turn it into a white paper. And I'm working with Ole Lensmar. Yes, I'm working with him to get a blog started. Oh. And then the folks from TestCube are going to be doing a CDF online meetup. I don't know how much the person who is doing that knows about test events, but I was going to reach out and ask him if he could talk about test events as part of his presentation.
So you said you are doing it together with Ole, or?
I'm writing the blog with Ole.
Yeah, a blog, yeah.
I started it and I sent it to him and said, here, let's finish it now.
Mm. So he's from Cube Shop, right?
Yes, he's from Cube Shop. Yeah. That's right. And I believe, let me look.
Lensmar.
I'm going to add to there. Let me get to my meetups. Yeah.
You can correct me if I write something wrong as well. So yeah, good. So what I plan for the rest of the meeting is to discuss the next release of CD Events, which we started, Andrea and I, on the CD Events workgroup meeting this morning. Is there something else we should talk about before we go there? More SIG Events related?
No, that's all I have. And because I have a Ortelius meeting in 1 minute, I'm going to have to jump, but I'll make sure and add, it is the person who's doing the talk. His name is, his email says TestCube, but is Cube Shop and TestCube related?
I think Cube Shop is the company and TestCube is the project.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna, his name is Abdullah Abadrava. I'm going to reach out and ask him if he can include some information on CD events in his talk.
Okay, cool.
And I'll put that link for this in the doc, so you guys have it. I'll just put it under the white paper.
Yeah.
CDF. Okay.
Good.
And at that, guys, I have to jump.
Good to see you.
I'll keep fighting for you out there.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Tracy.
Bye.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
That's you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So we should continue then on the roadmap and the Euros 4 release, right?
So yeah, when I asked Ole, I got the feeling that so he said that test shop just about that. So he said it's an open source project accelerator.
Yeah.
But I was under the impression that then the different projects, they're actually also companies.
They are. I didn't know. Because here on CubeShop.io, they are called projects.
Projects,
here.
yeah.
But maybe each of these projects are also companies then. But it looks like this is more of a project to me. They're all very much related. They have the same mascot, all of them, different colors, more or less.
Yeah.
Get to know, it says get to know Cube Shop here under just UI. So I guess Cube Shop is probably the legal company behind it. Yeah, we can ask Ola sometime again, but yeah, not so important maybe. But the other project here, I'm not sure if any other project is related to CD events. I haven't looked into what those are.
Test race. I mean, I spoke with the test race people there at Amsterdam, and I got some contact from them as well. And they told me they're interested in adopting CD events as well.
Cool.
But yeah, so we haven't really started like detailed discussion about what that would look like.
That would be very interesting if we should start talking about how to connect OpenTelemetry traces with CD events traces. Yeah. But wasn't Ole also somehow involved in trace test then, or because I think it talked about several of these projects on in Amsterdam.
Yeah, he told me that he has a role in KubeShop, and as well as in TestCube directly.
Okay.
So I think he has a leadership role in TestCube, and then, well, he's specifically personally involved in TestCube.
Okay.
But yeah, so he will refer to other projects as well.
Okay. So we move on to the roadmap.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we added some in our last meeting. So we now have quite some content already in 0.4, but we should go through the rest as well and see what we should add. Should we do it the way we did last time, to go into each of these? Starting with the spec repository then. Is this the way you wrote it? No roadmap. No label.
I think it's minus label.
Okay.
Colon roadmap, possibly. Yeah.
This is probably that. Yeah. So let's see. We skipped the skip comment for now. Supply chain aspects. We said it should be in the roadmap, didn't we?
Yeah. We marked it as 0.4. So it does not have the label, but
it has the label. Okay.
But we put the roadmap.
We don't need to have the label.
We put the milestone. Sorry.
Should we add the label as well, do you think, or in all this?
Sure, we can. I think it's kind of weird saying that's something we want to do at some point.
Yeah. So now it should be there. It's a 0.4 as well. Fine. Schema store we talked about. We won't do it at this time. Link to examples in Markdown docs.
We talked about it.
Yeah, okay, that's also in 0.4. Can skip that now. The white paper incorrect link. This is a small issue to fix, I guess. Was there also a pull request for this already?
Well, I don't think there can be really a pull request for this. I mean, it's only available in PDF into the repo, so I don't think that's something that can be fixed through a pull request.
So I guess we will not do anything about this now until we publish it the next time, and then we anyway need to go through all links and see if they work, right?
Yeah, so I think that's from the old version, so we can check the new version, but I thought we fixed all those links in the new version of the white paper.
Let's see. Was in the continuous deployment events, this one. Oh, can't open it this way. And I have some problems with my Acrobat reader on my client, so I can't open it, unfortunately.
Oh.
Is this where
Yeah.
It should be this one, but I can't click it for some reason. Maybe it's
Okay.
Chrome that has an issue. Could you check if it works?
Yeah. Just a second. Maybe events. Okay. The thing is the CD events white paper that is in there might not have been updated with the latest version that was made.
Ah, okay. So where is it then, the latest one? Is that on the CD Foundation somewhere? Or where is it published?
Doesn't let me open the links either like that. Yes, so yes, I think we had a blog post, but we should
Is it in this one maybe?
yeah, so I think if you go back, it was just
Isn't this? Because this is updated May 2023, so this is the latest.
oh, okay, good.
So this should be it. Now let's see if I can click a link here maybe. No, can't open it for some reason. And if I download it, I can't see it anyway because my Acrobat reader doesn't allow me somehow.
Could you share the link?
Yeah, sure. Oops. It's in the chat now. And it should be on page 5. Need to fix my Acrobat installation.
Okay, so
On page 5, does the link say deployment or integration there? Because that was the default. Needs integration,
yeah,
but it needs deployment.
it doesn't seem to.
Can you find the link or?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be a link anymore.
Oh, maybe that's why I can't click it either.
So I downloaded the PDF and
Yeah.
opening it, and there is like in the. But it's strange because they're. No.
Should I ask?
Yeah, like
where
in
is
the in the footer, it says CD Events, the next evolution of CI/CD technology, and that link.
Yeah.
The first one I can click it. The one on page 5 I can.
Yeah.
No, on page whatever it is. Yeah, page 5.
Yeah.
I can click it, but if I go to page 6, oh, now I can click it.
Yeah, page 6 works as well.
So maybe it takes just a little bit of time. Let me try again.
No, but these are underlined, but they are not links. At least not that I can see.
It don't
Should
seem
they
to be
be linked internally in the document? No. No, it should be to GitHub, right?
I mean, I remember we fixed the links. We had a discussion about those, but it seems that what I find a bit frustrating is that we only get this PDF, so we don't get any.
Remember, there was
code.
a Google Docs document But maybe that was for the first iteration of the new or the white paper, not the last one. Let's see
But
if that's-
the Google Doc is not. It's only like the content, but it's not formatted like in the
right. Yeah.
in the white paper,
Mm,
right? So there's some manual process, I guess, between there and
yeah, right.
which is going through some authoring tool we don't know about. Yeah.
Um,
I
but
can
when I
try
look
is-
at the, well, Fatih sent this Google Docs out as a comparison for the next generation of the white paper.
Mhm.
And here is the continuous deployment event, which seems to be linking at the correct place. So maybe it's actually, but it's strange. This one should be the base for the rendered page, maybe. Should we
Yeah,
ask
no,
Fatih, maybe?
Yeah, I think that needs to be fixed. The I tried with another viewer, but it's the same. No links there.
Yeah. I'll reach out to Fatih separately and see what.
Okay, thanks.
Based on this issue as well. This one. So Adam also added the link to the CDF Events white paper, but this one is an old one. So this was before the new one was published. And we should be able to refer to the new one, but it seems the new one is not any better in this regard.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Fatih says. Should we? Yeah, it's not related to 0.4 anyway, so we can make it a separate issue still, I think.
Yeah.
So let's go on. The content.outcome field is not declared as enums. All right, yes. So this is just a string. Well, no, it declares that the outcome shall be an enum, but the schema says it's free text strings.
Oh, I see.
So this is probably the same still, unless it was fixed when doing the testing event.
No, I don't think it was
No, these
fixed.
have not been updated, yeah.
Yeah. So no,
So
this is something we should
Yeah.
should fix. Yeah.
There. Good. Then versioning field in the context part is confusing. Maybe rename to spec version. Yeah, this about the versioning is probably something we should look into a bit. But the question is when. Okay, so Matthias proposal is just to rename the string there to be spec version instead of version. I guess that's the. Is that the parameter that is the same in cloud events? What? No, do we have version in cloud events?
Mhm.
Is that the spec version we have there? Is it the event version?
Yeah, there's no
Since it's
event
part of the
type.
event ID, it's the event type. It's the event version, right?
No, they only have a spec version on Cloud Events.
But we have the event type containing the event version today.
In CD Events, yes.
Yeah. Okay, no, sorry, we don't have the event type, of course, in Cloud Events. Or I'm also confused now.
Yes, they do have an event type.
So
But
does that differ
because
then, or
it's
does
but
that
the
differ?
event type
Sorry.
they have the event type filled, but they don't have a specification for the content of the event type.
No. Okay.
They have a field
yeah.
called spec version. So maybe we could have it there, and they have a field. We could rename it to spec version to do this similar to what they do in Cloud Events. So this is spec version, and then they have the field type. That's below. All right, and then they have a link to versioning of Cloud Events.
But this is the Cloud Events version, not. I mean, it cannot be this.
Yes,
version,
so
yeah.
that's a Cloud Event version, and then just right after that, right after the spec version, they have type.
Yeah.
And this is where we store our CD event type as well, right? And there is some versioning of Cloud Events in the primer there. And it says that the Cloud Event specification does not mandate any particular pattern to be used, or even the use of consideration not versioning at all. The decision is up to the event producer. However, event producers are encouraged to consider how they might evolve their schema without breaking consumer. Two specific content attributes are particularly important: type and the data schema. The difference between these attributes with respect to versioning are described below. And if you look at the type side of things, they recommend including a version in there. It says when considering the value of type attribute, even event producer may choose any version in the wish, such a version number or date as part of the value. They may also use the attribute type to convey that a particular version is not yet stable and may go through breaking changes. Alternatively, they may choose not to include a version in the type value at all. So it's not really enforced by the Cloud Events. But what we discussed and agreed to do, at least until now, is to have versions.
Yeah. I know we have it there. So, and I think that this issue is not about that removing that or something like that. It's more about make it clear what version do we talk about when we say version in the schema there. So there we go. Too many tabs open. This one.
I mean, we could introduce a spec version.
Yeah.
Instead of version. We could, even if we are not required to, we could even do it in a backward compatible way by adding the new field and still supporting the old field as well for some time.
And deprecating it up to 1, yeah.
Deprecate, yeah.
So here in our description of the type, we say it should be a version, and version of semantic blah blah blah. But then in the example, we don't include a version, which is quite bad. Right?
Oh,
The examples here should include a version as well.
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I think examples everywhere else think they.
Yeah, thanks.
No, not really.
Not there.
No.
Yeah, maybe something we
Okay.
need to look through them.
Yeah.
And the other one we said was this one. What is it called? The version under context. Yeah. No, wait, this was not wrong. Not right. Where did I go now? Sorry. No. Yeah, this version here. I'm just confused. This one. Spec version.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question is if we need to do that now before we have reached 1.0 to have deprecations. I mean, it will require some more effort on our end to handle deprecations, but at the same time, it will be hard for the SDKs and others to manage it if not.
Yeah, we don't really have to. I think according to the policy, but because we are in a 0.x release still, so we could just do it if you wanted to.
I think anyway, we try to do this in 1.0.4 time frame.
Yeah,
we fix this issue. Okay. And then what else is there? That's that one. The protocol is not consistent on events that notify executions. Oh, this is a naming discussion. We say runs, but now we have added actually test case runs and test suite runs, so that's better. But the build is still just the build and not the build run or something, build execution. It's maybe implicit in the term. Well, a build could actually mean two things, of course. It could be interpreted as a verb. So maybe we can consider this done now, since we have fixed it for test cases and test suites.
That has been there, definitely an improvement in this area for
Yeah.
sure.
And all of them have queued now. Probably not the build, but
I think
some of it.
still the task run might not have queue. So that is something that we might want to have.
Yeah, for symmetrical reasons, maybe it should have queued as well. It says, yeah, right, the task run hasn't queued. Okay, so there's still some more things to do here. This was actually not the pull request that ended up merged, so you can change it to the new pull request. Look if there's a comment on it here, right? Somewhere. Oh, this was a long discussion. There. This way. So what should we do about the rest? Should we try to fix this for 0.4 as well, you think, or should we?
Yeah, I think we can try. We can put it. I mean, these are kind of small things to do as well. So if you have someone who's looking for helping out, this is a kind of small task that maybe can be given to get started, like adding the queue to task one, for instance.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, it's already up in time. We have two more things to look into here. POC dependency updates through. Okay, but this should be moved to the community repo, I think. Probably. Oh, well, no, maybe not. No, this is nothing we have for now. I think it's an interesting thing still, but we don't need to force it for 0.4. We can keep it.
You can label it with.
Sorry?
You could label it with the new POC label though, if you wanted. So we could then it would show up.
But it's not in this repo.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's create one. Doesn't matter.
Was it capital POC? No.
I think it was all lowercase.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it this way then. Here we go. Then added requested event semantics to vocabulary from Salaboy.
Yeah, I think we didn't really want to do this for now.
Yeah.
Because it was about more like imperative type of events.
Yeah.
I think we
haven't gotten a reply from him since. Yeah, exactly.
So
should we close it? I think we close it now since he hasn't answered. I think we close it, or
maybe we can close it and say that if this is still relevant to him, please open it again. Otherwise it will stay there forever. We don't have this automatic aging of issues here.
Oh, that could also be something we could think about, but maybe not yet. So we do it this way. Okay, so we got through this list at least, but now time's up.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks
great.
for good collaboration, and then I will be off tomorrow, but we'll meet. Next week I'm off as well, actually, on Eiffel Summit. We will have an Eiffel Summit next week in person.
Oh, okay.
So I will not be able to join the work group next week either. So we'll meet in the SIG Events meeting in 2 weeks then.
Okay.
Okay,
Have a good
Yep.
Eiffel Summit.
thank you.
See you next time.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye. Bye.